Okay, so we're here with Julie Hollis from Cloud9 Studios. Or is it Cloud9 Gallery? Because you're a bit of both, aren't you?
Yeah, Cloud9, and then underneath it says Studio Gallery, because when I opened up I didn't want people to just think it was a studio or a gallery or whatever. It's a combination of the two. So it always used to be known when I first opened up as Cloud9 Studio Gallery, but I'm a bit more confident in it now and it's just Cloud9.
So you've been here, you were telling me you've been here for 5 years.
Just coming up for 5 years, yeah.
Which is quite a long time actually, because some shops, galleries, studios, whatever, you know, they open up a couple of years later and they're really, really struggling. Yeah. So you must have something right here.
I think I've developed as I've gone along. You know, sort of I started off with something that was quite, if you look back at photographs of what Cloud9 used to look like when I first opened sort of 5 years ago, it's quite Spartan in comparison. It was mainly just my things on the wall, and just one or two pieces of wood turning. It's the dog. Gradually over the years I've just found people's work that I like, and I've asked them, invited them to come and put some work in here, and it's gradually built up. And I think because of that, whenever people have come back, there's always been a little bit more. It's always been a little bit different. It's not
something
always
new to
yes,
see.
It's not the same each time they come. I think people look for that. They look for something different.
Well, we'll have a little tour around in our next video. But tell us a little bit about how you got to here, how you got to opening up your studio, and because it started way back when you were an art student, really, didn't it?
I studied, I actually did teacher training. That's where I've come from. So I went to college and I studied to be an art teacher, basically. Right. Art was my main focus. And because I went into primary school teaching, it didn't really matter what my main focus was. I was going to be a teacher, and I was just going to teach everything, and that was it. So after I qualified as a teacher, I did a little bit of I had a couple of little exhibitions when I started teaching, but not very much. And then my family came along and nothing happened because I was that busy sort of being a mom, and
everything gets put on hold.
That's it.
When you're a mom.
That's it. So I didn't have, apart from making the occasional Christmas card and maybe doing some sketches of the kids if they would stand still for long enough, you know, things like that. I didn't really do very much. And then I was a full-time teacher up in Dumfries. I've been up here for 25 years and sort of teaching that long. And then, what would it be? Probably about 10 years ago, a bit more now, I had a breakdown, and literally my world just all came tumbling down. I lost a very good friend, and just everything seemed to all happen at the same time. I went through a divorce. It was just not good. I wasn't in a very good place. And art was my salvation. I turned back to it again, started painting, and as I said to you before, they were very angst-ridden, dark, deep paintings, you know, sort of very sad-looking things now, which I've kept, and I'll never sell them because that was part of where I was, you know.
Part of your process.
Yeah, definitely it was, yeah. But I started putting things on eBay just to see if people were interested, and they started to sell, and it kind of built my confidence up a little bit. And I met somebody who also painted, and we ended up doing a joint show together in Castle Douglas, and that sort of built up again, and sort of I kept doing more things, and eventually I started looking at having exhibitions on my own. And when that went well, I thought, well, that's going well, let's see where I can go next. And I was just really lucky that we found Cloud9. It didn't look like this when we bought it. It was semi-derelict when we got it.
Were you, so at that point, were you specifically looking for somewhere to open up, so a permanent base, or was it you just happened to see the space and think, oh wow, that's going to make a great place?
We were looking for somewhere. I was still teaching part-time. I'd gone down to teaching part-time, and I was building up the art side of the business, but I was just working from a cabin in my back garden. And because my exhibitions were going so well, we started, this is my husband as well, we started looking for somewhere that we could maybe invest in that could be a business for me. So we were looking around Dumfries to see what we could find, and there was very little that we could find to buy. There's plenty if you want to rent, but to buy a property was a little bit more difficult. So we had a look at a few, and then we were disappointed a couple of times. Things either it fell through or whatever, as they do. And then I just saw this place, and it was a manky, run-down, boarded up place. You know, it just looked so sad, and we got the keys for it and had a look. And amazingly, when we opened up the door, the electricity was still on. I switched the light on, you know, and sort of couldn't believe it. And when I looked, I saw this. I saw what it looks like now with my artist's eye. My poor husband saw the fact that the roof was hanging in.
He saw all the work, didn't he?
And there was stuff everywhere. We had pigeons living in here, and you know, and every roof had a hole in it, and it was just a disaster. But we bought it, and we took just about 18 months of working at weekends and evenings, Christmas, and you know, just here all the time, gradually rebuilding the place, and until magically we're here now. So
cool.
Yeah, it's still not finished. There's still things that we need to do, and my husband will listen to this and he'll go, oh, more things that she wants me to do. He knows that there are things that we need to get, you know, we need to finish off.
But it looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic.
It's a happy place. It's a place where I like to be.
Right, well, we'll just finish this clip here, and then we'll get you to walk us around some of the stuff that you've got in. I know a lot of it is yours, but you've also got one or two other people.
That's right.
Stuff, so we'll go and have a look. 2 seconds.